All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How you all doing? Good to see you. We're live on YouTube. Rockfin, Colin. Y'all know the deal. And welcome to all you. Thanks for hanging out with me every day on the internet. And what's up, Rockfinners? What's up, Colliners? Hey, hey. All right. Let's get into it. Quite a bit going on, of course. Of course, but of course. All right. One time. We're gonna this is gonna load eventually. Always good to plug the computer in when doing a show. Is what I hear. All right. So there's a massive amount of rainfall in China. Really just unbelievable, off the scale, off the charts, right? The river near the venue. This looks apocalyptic. I don't want to be anywhere near that. The river near the venue of the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics also experienced major flooding, which is currently the largest flood since 1963. Pretty remarkable. Let's see. Here's another one. Just going to show a couple of these. Massive floods due to heavy rains in Beijing. That's, again, looks whammo. Man, this traffic is horrible. Again, it looks very scary. I don't want to be anywhere near that. Yeah, you would wonder about whether or not the mainstream media would actually cover this kind of stuff. Record-setting torrential rain in Beijing, over 500 millimeters of rainfall in 24 hours. The weather station data has been interrupted and the rainstorm is still going on. So just a wild situation in Beijing. And hopefully, what do you say? I mean, hopefully it's the damage. Hopefully not too many people are succumbing. I know Some of you don't care. But that really it sucks that now people have to be subject to this or victimized by this, something that has been predicted for years, right? Something that we have been told to ignore or downplay or be skeptical of for many decades. Now people have to be victimized by this, right? And they are victims. There are many victims, right? There are animal victims and flora and fauna, all kinds of victims among the flora and fauna, and there are human victims of this too. People who are now going to have to experience something that they were told wasn't a big deal. Told not to think about. A rainstorm, Hermosillo in Mexico, massive. They're getting it too. This is crazy amounts of rain in Hermosillo. Let's see. It's the winds are just taking the carts and quite a few carts down the parking lot. Man, that's wild. Again, this is a this is like all day every day now. This footage. And I really want to get to something, and I will get something quite important that needs to be discussed or looked at. Well, this isn't the one, but this is interesting because this is what happens when it gets too hot and the AC goes off. Multiple dogs being driven to a police canine training facility died in Indiana on Thursday after the air conditioning in the truck transporting them failed in a freak event, authorities say. A freak event, huh? According to the Facebook post, dogs were traveling from Chicago O'Hare International to Michigan City when the truck was caught in a 2-hour traffic delay. Along the way, the air conditioner failed, causing the temperature to rise in the cargo area of the truck. According to the post, temperatures in the Chicago area reached 92 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. Since the cargo area was separated, the driver wasn't aware at the time that the AC unit failed, which caused some of the canines to go into heat-related medical distress. The driver's attention as to what was going on inside the cargo area was alerted to him by some of the canines barking. But this is I'm sorry, didn't show you that. But I mean, I'm sure it was a freak accident, or I'm sure the air conditioning. But it's just an example of our reliance on and dependence on something that we will probably be much more intermittent in the future. And that sounds scary, but maybe it's good to prepare mentally for that. I don't know what else to tell you. But counting on AC to save us from overheating when the whole planet is overheating, I think is a faulty idea. All right, God dang it. This is so weird the way my microphone goes up and down in volume. It's very, very Annoying. Hopefully, I don't know if it's staying the same level for y'all. Is my microphone volume staying the same level for you? Because in my headphones it goes up and it goes down and I can barely hear myself, and then it goes way up and I'm way too loud. I don't know. Are you guys experiencing that when you're listening to the show? Because it's extremely annoying. And I do blame StreamYard for that. Anyways, this is a very concerning post from Leon Simons. It is going up and down? Oh, Jesus. God, I wish, thanks for letting me know. I wish, I don't know. I guess I should send a message to StreamYard or something. I don't know. Send them a message and say there's this known issue going on with your website. Maybe you guys could fix this. I don't know. July 2023 is the hottest month ever observed, and 1.5 C above the pre-industrial climate. Here we are at 1.5 C. Hello, 1.5 C. Hello, not well below. We are not well below 1.5. We are not well below 2. We're not well below. We are at 1.5 C above pre-industrial climate. That's in July 2023. I think it's a safe bet that we will reach plus 1.5 C for the next 12 months. 12-month mean, excuse me, El Nino. And if I was feeling unlucky, I would bet the 12-month average peaking at 1.8 C. That is a heck of a prediction. That is a heck of a prediction. 1.8 C, because if we're at 1.8 C, well then, how close are we to 2? Real close. Agencies and independent scientists declared July to be the world's hottest month on record, warn of more severe impacts to come. And this is where we are, daily global mean surface air temperatures. And again, the deviation from the mean is startling. And it's startling, and it's large, the deviation, and it's prolonged. Look how, you can see other deviations here on the graph, but they don't, the deviations don't last that long. Look at this. I mean, that's incredible. And if you look at this closely, okay, I see what's going on. Anyways. Thought I saw something there. Yeah. But that is, hold on. And it wasn't quite finished with that. Anyways, that's concerning, isn't it? That we're at 1.5. We're now, squarely, firmly, surely at 1.5. The Antarctic is also off the charts as far as ice recovery. And we're going to read a little bit about this. The Antarctic is extremely complex, and even the best scientists are dumbfounded. If, and it's a big if, this is a functional collapse of the system, that means we need to reappraise our sea level projections, and that affects a lot of people. So we'll look at this. Something weird is going on. Search for answers as Antarctic sea ice stays at historic lows. Some scientists fear the shocking shift is the beginning of a global heating-linked collapse of the ice that could have alarming knock-on effects. Most mornings since the end of March and before Will Hobbs has done much at all other than make a coffee, he scrolls his inbox looking for one particular email. Generated and sent automatically from a colleague, the email arrives just after 4 a.m. and gives the latest data from a U.S. government satellite showing how much sea ice is floating around Antarctica. Unprecedented is a word that gets bandied around a lot, but it doesn't really get to just how shocking this is, says Hobbs, a sea ice scientist at the University of Tasmania. It is very much outside our understanding of this system. In February, the floating sea ice around Antarctica hit a record low for the second year running. Since satellites started tracking the region's ice in 1979, there had never been less ice. As it does every year, as the temperatures around the continent plunged towards winter, the sea ice started to return. But the moderate alarm from scientists at the record low, coming only a year after a previous record low, is now being overlaid with astonishment. Some are worried they could be witnessing the start of a slow collapse of Antarctica's sea ice. By now, there would usually be about 16.4 million square kilometers of Antarctic sea ice, but this week there was just 14.1 square kilometers. An area bigger than Mexico has failed to freeze. Just over 2 million square kilometers less. And you can see the sea ice extent here in red. And this is where it should be in black. There's a sense that something weird is going on. It's dropping way below anything we've seen in our record, said Dr. Walt Meyer, a senior scientist at the National Snow and Ice Data Center at the University of Colorado. Meyer's job is to help collate and present data from U.S. satellites that have been recording sea ice since 1978. It's the same data that gets presented in Hobbs' daily email and the same data that has been turned into charts and spread on social media around the world in recent weeks. This is from Zach Labe. The current sea ice anomaly remains more than 2 million square kilometers. And this is what it looks like against 2016, which was definitively one of the hottest years on record. Every day a defense satellite passes over the region with an instrument on board which, through clouds and at night, can detect whether the ocean surface is covered by ice or water. Every morning about 7 a.m. in Boulder, Colorado, an automated system pulls the data, runs an algorithm, and spits out how much ice has been around the continent, averaged over the past 5 days. In terms of being relative to normal, we are even further behind where we were in February, Meyer says. It's quite remarkable, and there are moments we look and say, wow, this is strange. Not only is there less ice, but the reduction is being seen almost all the way around the continent's 18,000-kilometer coastline. While the floating ice in the northern Arctic has behaved as scientists and climate models expected in a warming world, that is, on an apparent terminal decline, Antarctica's sea ice has held steady. But in 2016, something flipped. Only 2 years after a record high, 2016 delivered a record low, and there's been a strong downward trend ever since. Scientists are still debating why. Confused face. Sea ice around Antarctica is 2.4 million square kilometers less, blah, blah, blah. I just said that. I don't want to keep repeating myself. A big part of the challenge in understanding Antarctica's sea ice is its location. Surrounded by vast ocean on all sides, the sea ice is affected by winds, storms, air temperature, changes in ocean heat, ding, 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 saltiness, and how different layers of ocean mix. Unpicking all those influences and interactions to uncover any climate change influence is tricky. Meyer says it is hard to know if the changes are natural or human-caused or a mix of both. It says there is some evidence of a similar sudden swing from high levels of sea ice to very low in photographs from the mid-1960s satellites. Dr. Andrew Myers, an oceanographer at the British Antarctic Survey, says many climate scientists who were not necessarily sea ice folk suspect the drop since 2016 showed climate change had finally burned through the natural barriers around the sea ice formed by the unique wind and atmospheric circulation, but there was a lack of concrete evidence to support that view. I wonder when they're going to decide, hey, it's the world is warming, there's less ice. I wonder what's happening. Golly gee. Let's put some science on it. Overall, the feeling is something big is happening this year, and this is probably associated with the wider decline since 2016, says Myers. Whether this is anthropogenically driven, and if so, what the driver may be, is still up for debate. But there is at least one working theory for the loss of sea ice. The waters all around Antarctica are oddly topsy-turvy. The upper levels of the ocean are stratified, a cooler and less salty layer on top, and a warmer and denser layer from about 150 to 300 meters. Professor Alex Haumann, an oceanographer and sea ice expert at Alfred Wegener Institute in Munich, says there's evidence there's evidence that just before the current declines, the top layer became saltier and mixed with the lower layer, allowing the warmer water to reach the surface and make it harder for the ice to form. I was correct with my ding. Could it be warmer water? This could be linked to natural weather patterns, but he says what's not explainable is that the warm layer has been getting considerably warmer since the 1960s. Again, I wonder why. Why they're acting, really like, oh, well, I don't know. It's kind of annoying when scientists do this thing. Well, we're not, the whole scientific reticence. Well, I don't know. We're really not quite sure. We just have to do some more study. We don't really know what's happening, but you have a good idea, don't you? Anyways, Hamann, who has presented this theory to colleagues at several regional and international meetings, says that given his theory, this year's extraordinary drops were not unexpected. People have been betting me beers that this theory was wrong, he said. It's a safe bet for me. Losing Antarctica sea ice would have major knock-on effects, not just for the krill, fish, penguins, seals, and other animals that rely on it. Melting sea ice doesn't itself raise sea levels because it's already floating. But Dr. Arian Purick, a climate scientist at Monash University and an expert on the continent's sea ice, lists 3 reasons to be concerned. Loss of ice means less of the sun's energy is reflected back to space, causing more warming of the ocean. Antarctic sea ice is also influences the way the ocean circulates oxygen and nutrients around the globe. But the sea ice also protects the ice attached to the land by buffering waves, and this is what many scientists find the most troubling. Without it, the waves break on the ice shelves and cause them to break away faster. Then the ice sheet could slide into the ocean faster, raising sea levels globally, said Purick. I think everyone's asking what's happening right now. It's unbelievable. There's this worry about what kind of world we're coming into. Given the evidence, I feel like it would be irresponsible not to be linking it to global warming. Whoa, yes, thank you. With a warmer atmosphere and a warmer, well, do you think? I don't know. We got to err on the side of scientific reticence, even though there's this super simple, dopally simple answer. I don't know. It seems like the globe is warming. Do you think that's causing the ice to melt? I don't know. Let's do some more studies. I'm not sure. Okay. All the scientists Guardian Australia spoke to said there was a desperate need for more research, of course, and funding to help them to provide answers. I'm genuinely worried, said Hobbs. As a scientist, I'm worried that I can't find the answers or that we might have missed something. And it feels like the stakes are very high in getting this wrong. I'm starting to get tired reading this, but luckily it's over. If, and that's a big if, this is a functional collapse of the system, that means we need to reappraise our sea level projections, and that affects a lot of people. These are the stakes we are playing for. As scientists, we have a real responsibility not to mess this up. Okay, thanks so much. Thanks for playing. All right. And let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Here's some more flooding footage from Italy. That's really quite amazing. And by amazing, I mean like frightening. Look at this. Coming through and absolutely smashing this bridge. Also, there are reports of people dying in a mudslide in China from all the heavy rains. You'd probably expect that to happen. All right. All right, so I think we're going to move on to some other news. And I think what we're going to do is go to Rockfin. But before we do that, a really good way, the best possible ways to support this channel are at paypal.me/Kevin Sandblum, Venmo at Kevin Sandblum, Cash App at Red Llama Music, buymeacoffee.com/Black Bear News. Those are the most direct ways to support the show, and I appreciate your support, your donations. Many people, you all know who you are. You all support, and thank you. Basil Peterson, oh, thank you so much. Super chat. Have a dentist thing tomorrow, so here's my monthly contribution. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Basil. Hope you're well. Hope you and the wife are well. What's up, Rockfinners? How you doing? Right on. So we are gonna we're gonna switch over to Rockfin, and we're gonna stay on call-in, but we are gonna leave YouTube. So thank you, YouTubers. You can all jump over to Rockfin if you want to watch the rest of the show, and I'll be back tomorrow. You know that at 12 p.m. All right. Peace out, you.